Russia's losses at the front have increased recently. The Russian army tries to resume the pace of the offensive, the UK Ministry of Defense reports. According to the report, in 2025, Russia probably lost 138,000 people, killed and wounded, in the Russian-Ukrainian conflict. According to the Ukrainian General Staff, in March 2025, the average daily Russian losses amounted to about 1,300 people. This figure is up from 1,250 in February 2025, but remains below the very high daily rate of nearly 1,600 at the end of 2024. According to British intelligence, the rise in casualties continued in early April 2025 and likely reflects increased Russian attacks along the front line. Russian troops are likely trying to restore the pace of frontline development after a period of declining attacks in the first months of the year. Despite a relatively static frontline, reported Russian casualties remain significantly higher in 2025 so far than compared to spring 2024, when recorded daily Russian casualty rates were consistently below 1,000. Since invading Ukraine, Russia has likely sustained more than 920,000 total casualties, the UK Ministry of Defense said. Earlier, British intelligence reported that Vladimir Putin and the Russian military leadership put their goals in the war above the lives of Russian soldiers, so that it would not negatively affect public or elite support for the war. That is why residents of poor ethnic suburbs of Russia are mostly recruited for the war against Ukraine. At the same time, Russian residents from urban centers such as Moscow and St. Petersburg provided a much smaller number of soldiers. More destroyed columns. The 77th Airmobile Brigade repelled a Russian mechanized attack, destroying a total of 5 tanks including T-62 and T-72s. The attack was crushed before it could breach Ukrainian lines, leaving wrecked armor scattered across the battlefield. Ukrainian airmobile units like the 77th specialize in rapid, flexible defense, using anti-tank missiles, drones, and artillery to neutralize heavier enemy forces. Older Russian tanks like the T-62 stand little chance against modern Western-supplied weapons, while even T-72s, once the backbone of Russia's armored forces, are increasingly vulnerable. Each failed assault further depletes Russia's reserves, as Ukrainian defenders continue to turn back attacks with deadly precision. We will reach a diplomatic resolution to this war. However, Ukraine will never recognize the occupied territories as Russian, despite any pressure. Volodymyr Zelensky, in an interview with 60 Minutes on CBS News.
Everything will turn around, preferably through diplomatic means. Certainly, we don't want to lose people. Returning people is impossible. And these are irreversible losses. And this number of military, civilians, children, adults, and in any format of ending the war, this moment will not be forgiven by anyone. No matter what diplomats say, no matter what clothes they wear at meetings, no matter what happens in the future, there will certainly be negotiations. Certainly there will be different. Trilateral and bilateral. There will be different formats. We will reach a diplomatic resolution to this war because Putin cannot occupy us, and we do not have enough strength to deoccupy everything. And this is the situation as we understand it today. And therefore, this war will end diplomatically. We do not recognize the territories as Russian, those that are temporarily occupied. They will pressure us through the United States and through some partners. They will want us to recognize it. We do not recognize this. We will return it. When and how, I cannot say today, but that is the goal, justice. This will be, I believe, in the end, the most difficult. Because as I said, territories will be returned by people or time. But here, human losses cannot be recovered. Therefore, there is only one thing that can be done. This is justice. That is, someone is a killer. must be held accountable for it. This will be, I think, the most difficult challenge. Honestly, I believe so. Because everyone among our partners will be looking for possibilities, opportunities, for one or another compromise with the Russians. And certainly, we cannot let go of the issue of justice.
In Russia, 2 high school kids in Nizhny Novgorod sentenced to 2.5 years in prison for publishing a YouTube video to their 26 subscribers in which they discussed the Russian invasion of Ukraine. The police complaint was filed by their school principal. This is trolling on another level. China 24 channel shared a video of a Chinese factory dedicated to MAGA merch, which is working on that merch since 2016.
There's little evidence of a trade war at the Jiahao flag company in Anhui province. Workers bustle and sewing machines hum. A current hot seller, blue and white banners declaring the centerpiece of Trump's re-election campaign.
What I'm making here now is the Trump banner. I know that he's the U.S. president. Every day we must produce over 1,000 of this. We already made so many batches of them.
The banners highlight a paradox in China-U.S. relations under the current Trump administration. At about $1 a piece, even the suppliers to the Trump campaign can't resist the low price. The factory also made banners for his 2016 campaign and said its business has been great since then.
Buy American and hire American.
Trump has long railed against Chinese imports and launched a controversial trade strategy this year to punish Beijing. Yet his move is merely making America more expensive. The U.S. Department of Commerce said flax and other textile products will be subject to a 10% levy. One seller said that would be enough to double the price of a Make America Great Again hat to $20 a pop. And his hardline stance towards China could eventually repel suppliers like the Jiahao flag company.
Personally, this is my own feeling, but if he continues to demand tariff increases as he has been doing, I definitely would not be able to accept more orders. That's because everyone can have a patriotic heart, so we won't let him improve his own economy, while us Chinese just shoot ourselves in the foot. I know that Trump's tariffs targeting China will have some effect, but we're not worried at all since we're producing foreign flags every single day.
If Trump's midterm election rallies have no flags to fly, there's only one man to blame. Sun Tianyuan, CGTN.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.